पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्. In our study of the Bhagavadgita, we have completed the first chapter. The first chapter of the Gita, called Arjuna Vishada Yoga, is very important because it will create a context in which the Gita teaching is done by the Krishna. Without context, without circumstances which lead to the Gita teaching, we will not be able to appreciate the importance and the significance of the Gita teachings. So, therefore, in that way, the Gita, the first chapter of the Gita, is very, very important. Coming to the second chapter is called the Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya is a technical term more often used to indicate a school of philosophy, and that is created by the Kanada. That is Sankhya Yoga, Kapila. Kapila Rishi propounded what is called the Sankhya philosophy. The Sankhya philosophy per se, it teaches 24 tattvas, are the basic elements of the universe, the understanding of which he says will lead to emancipation or liberation. They are called the tattvas. Tattvas means they are the entities, realities. We have to understand them, and understanding of them will lead to liberation. That is the classical Sankhya we know in the philosophical circle of the ancient India. But here, Sankhya means understanding or the knowledge. This chapter is often translated by many authors as the yoga of knowledge. But we have another fourth chapter that's also Jnana Yoga, that is also the yoga of knowledge. Then what is the difference between this yoga and the Jnana Yoga? That is the fourth chapter. We have to understand this before we enter into the study of Sankhya Yoga. Here, Sankhya means the reality, understanding what is reality. Here, Jnana Yoga, of course, the one who has understood it, the characteristic of Jnani is very much appreciated and is explained in the fourth chapter, if you read that. But here, the quick solution, the solution to Arjuna's problem is, he is worried about killing his kith and kin, his elders, the teachers, etc. He is very much anxious that he would kill in the battle the near ones, and he will incur sin and he will go to the hell. And Krishna wants to make him understand that it is body which dies, and there is something else within the body that doesn't die. That is Atman. Atman is the self. with the big capital self. If you read English translations, there are two selves. One is the self with capital, another is self without capital. Self without capital is ordinary self, that is ego, that is the combination of body and mind, etc. But if it is with capital self, it denotes the divine consciousness within us, the divinity which is in everyone. And Krishna teaches that you are not killing anyone because they are eternal. Atman cannot be killed. You are not going to kill Bhishma or Drona. The very perception that I am going to kill someone is a wrong one. So, in order to make him understand, in order to impress this idea, Krishna teaches the Atma Vichara here. That Atma Vichara is what is called Sankhya here. And apart from that, with this understanding you have to fight. Tasmat Yuddhyasva Bharata. The fighting is something mandatory for you because it is your swadharma, it is your duty as the Kshatriya. So here understanding doesn't need to inactivity. Understanding of Atman, Atma Vichara should lead to intense activity. So here activity and understanding, the proper knowledge of the reality and the activity should come after that. So the knowledge should lead to the activity. So it is very interesting to note the blending of knowledge and the action. Here Karma Yoga is taught in brief and also the Atma Vichara is taught. Though there are two dedicated chapters afterwards, and we have Karma Yoga in 3rd chapter and Jnana Yoga in the 4th chapter, still both are taught in essence, essentials of the both are taught in the 2nd chapter. That's why the tradition says, here contains in the 2nd chapter the essence or the summary of the whole Gita. If we cannot read the whole Gita, at least we have to study 2nd chapter. In 2nd chapter, whatever Krishna has to tell has already he summarizes, his teaching is summarized in the 2nd chapter. So there are two components I have already told you, Atma Vichara and also the Karma Yoga. And a third component is also very interesting, Tita Prajna Lakshana. So what are the characteristics of a person who has become perfect with knowledge, with enlightenment? What is the character? What are the characteristics? So Krishna explains in detail. And why the characteristics of a perfect man is indicated or described in the 2nd chapter, that we have to know. After some chapters, Krishna indicates in the Gita itself, one should follow the perfected ones. So if we want to adopt a spiritual life, we have to take the guidelines from those who have followed them already, have attained the enlightenment. Arurukshor munair yogam karma karana muchyate yogarudasya tasya eva shamah karana muchyate. There is a shloka. That means for sadhaka, the spiritual aspirant, the characteristic of the perfected souls becomes something which has to be followed, practiced. A perfected one always has same-sightedness, samatva. For example, the samatva, same-sightedness, considering success and failures as something same, should be our practice. We have to practice that. So what is practice now, sadhana now, it will become siddha, that which is attained in the later stage. That is why you find Krishna describing the characteristics of the perfected souls. So he jnana is lakshana, he describes in the 13th chapters. and also Bhakta Lakshana he describes in the 12th chapter, and also in the 15th chapter, I think the 14th chapter, he describes Trigunatita Lakshana, one who transcends the three gunas. So all these are models for us. We have to emulate them. We have to follow the great ones in the path of spiritual life, in the path of spirituality. That's why the Sankhya Yoga is very, very important for in the studies of the Gita. So it is about reality. So we have understood what is meant by Sankhya. Now it is time to understand what is yoga. Every chapter in the Gita ends with the word yoga. What is yoga here? There are two meanings to yoga in Indian tradition. The first one is the concentration. If you read Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, there you will find yogas chitta vritti nirodha, the control of the mind, or rather the cessation of all the mental modes or the thoughts in the mind is what is called yoga. Or in general, yoga is concentration of the mind. That is what is the teaching of the Patanjali Yoga Sutra. But here, yoga means union. It comes from yuj dhatu. The earliest mention of the yoga you find in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. We have the word in English yoke. Yoke means that which there is some horses and there is chariot. There will be some wooden plank or something that connects the animals with the chariot. That something connects. That is which is called the yoke. That is what is the meaning. Ratha Yoga it is called. The Ratha Yoga is mentioned in the earliest of the Upanishad, that is Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Probably this is one of the earliest mention, very ancient mention of yoga in our literature. So Ratha Yoga, the Ratha in the yoga, yoke you have, that is the meaning earlier used. Then it came to be known as the communion. So communion with Jiva, with Paramatman. If one gives up the idea that I am an individual, I am body and mind complex, if he thinks or if he discovers, realizes, I am of the nature of the pure consciousness, and there comes the union with the Godhead. Paramatman. Paramatman is pure consciousness. So that is that kind of union. Union is what is called the yoga. So in every chapter, the aspirant wants to get union with the Godhead, union with God, union with his own real nature, that is pure consciousness. That is the goal the Gita is presenting before us. That is self-realization. So here every yoga, the purpose of every yoga, when we practice the teachings of that particular yoga, we should get that union. There are several paths. The path of knowledge, the path of action, selfless action, that is karma yoga, the path of meditation. So every yoga leads to the same goal. That is the idea behind the name of every chapter ends with the yoga. So we have here the Sankhya Yoga. And as I told you already, it is something very much different from the Sankhya system of philosophy advocated or taught by the great sage Kapila. So we hear the characteristic, very interesting factor is, you have to have the knowledge, but knowledge should not make us inactive. We should not go away from the society, and we should not cease to be a good citizen of society. We should be continue to do service in the society, and the service should become a kind of spiritual practice. That is what Karma Yoga. So the Karma Yoga is later explained in detail in the Karma Yoga chapter, that is third chapter also. So whatever Krishna wants to teach Arjuna, it has been summarized in the second chapter itself. That is what tradition says. Parampara it is called. So we shall start this Sankhya Yoga today. The context we already know. Arjuna has given up fighting. He has various reasons for that, and we have in detail learnt what are the reasons. Most of the reasons seems to be very valid and accurate, but Arjuna has missed one important point. Here it is a war between dharma and adharma. Duryodhana represents adharma, and the Duryodhana and the Kauravas, and the Pandavas represent what is called dharma. It is not, Arjuna's understanding of the battle or the war was confined to physical battle that is taking place in the Kurukshetra. But one should see beyond that. It has got psychological dimension, as I have tried to explain in these classes, and it has got ethical dimension. Dharma is ethics, and Pandavas stand for that. Unethical, evil, that is adharma, Duryodhana and others in the Kaurava side are for it. So it is a battle between dharma and adharma. So Arjuna has taken the war too personally. Arjuna is only one of the warriors there. There are several warriors, may not be equal to Arjuna, but they are very brave, very great warriors who are fighting the war. Arjuna is one of them, that's all. But Arjuna has taken everything personally, too much personally. He thinks, I am going to kill. But he is not killing. He is simply fighting for restoration of dharma. Dharma has to be restored. If dharma has to be restored, dharma has to have its value in the life of the human beings, adharma has to be annihilated. That great significance, greater meaning of Mahabharata war was missed by Arjuna, and he had become very selfish. Always think, I am not going to war because I am going to kill some persons and I will incur sin. And this is a selfish motive, selfish attitude. He should be ready to forgo his personal intentions or the personal comfort for the sake of the society. Every soldier knows killing is bad, but even he kills the enemy. He with all might kills the enemies. He has to. That killing in the war is very much justified. It is not adharma. Especially when you are on the side of the dharma, righteousness. So this larger interest of the state, larger interest of the society, larger interest of the country was not there in the Arjuna's argument. So this is the context. As I told you in the last class, Dhritarashtra became very happy. The war is over. War never takes place. The greatest warrior, archer in the Pandava army has surrendered even before the war. He is not going to war. Our sons, Dhritarashtra's sons, Duryodhana and others will continue to rule the kingdom. There will be no war at all. The Pandavas are too meek. In the name of dharma, in the name of ahimsa, they have surrendered the war. They have surrendered their claim to the Dhritarashtra, the Dhritarashtra, the sons of Dhritarashtra. So, a hope against hope, it's called, entered in the mind of the Dhritarashtra. War may not happen at all. Then kingdom will continue to belong to my sons. And he wants to know whether the war has stopped, what others are saying, what others are doing on the side of Pandavas and also on the side of the Kauravas, what is going on. So Sanjaya continues to report the happenings of the battlefield to Dhritarashtra. Sanjaya uvacha tam tatha krupaya vishtam ashrupurna kulekshanam vishidantamidam vakyam uvacha madhusudanaha. As I told you, we have to split the words in order to understand the meaning of the shloka. Tam tatha krupaya avishtam ashru purna akula ikshanam. This is how we have to split it. Vishidantam idam vakyam uvacha madhusudanaha. Tam means it refers to Arjuna. What is the state of Arjuna now? His ikshana, the eyes, are filled with tears. When we get tears, means he is filled with pity. Ashkrupaya avishtam. So in his mind, he has overcome with the sympathy, pity for his enemies. There are two kinds of sympathy, so the compassion. If compassion is misplaced, or pity is misplaced, sympathy is misplaced, you will not be happy. You will be very much unhappy. That's not real pity or the sympathy at all. Suppose if you develop a compassion for the right cause, well-placed sympathy, we can call it, then you will be very happy. If you are doing the right thing, you will be happy. If you are doing something wrong, you will be very unhappy. Arjuna is filled with the pity or the sympathy or the compassion towards his enemies. That should have made him very happy, because he is filled with compassion, but he is not at all happy. In the heart of heart, he knows he is doing something wrong. Yes, I am wrong. All my arguments are false. So that is the psychological state of Arjuna. Ikshanam means here the eyes. So it is characterized by two things. Ashru Purana, filled with tears. Why should be shedding tears when he is showing compassion to his enemies? Krupaya avishtam, filled with the krupa, the pity. And also, akula, it's a very important word here. It's very distressed, very anxious. You can see a person through his eyes, you can know whether he is very much distressed, anxious, or very stressful by seeing one's eyes. So his eyes is filled with tears, and it is exhibiting what is called his stress, anxiety, distress. That is what is meant by the akula. That has made him very sorrowful, vishidantam, very sorrowful. Compassion will not lead to sorrow. If you are showing sympathy to others, you should be happy. It will make you unburdened. It will lighten your heart. If you are serving others, if you are showing compassion with others. But in this case, it is not compassion at all. As we have discussed several times, it is illusion. It is wrong identification with the enemies. They are mine. I belong to them. They belong to me. Aham and ahankara and the mamakara. That is, these are the characteristics of the Arjuna state of mind. It is not real compassion at all. So the eyes were filled with tears, and he is very much distressed, and you can see his eyes full of distress. His eyes are not able to see the enemies at all. He is not able to see the Kaurava army which is ready for the battle. So the pity and the sorrow, these are the conditions, two characteristics, two qualities of his mind. One side compassion, pity, sympathy, another side sorrow. So it is kind of dilemma, irony. Contradiction. As I told you, there will be no pity when there is a sorrow. There will be no sorrow when there is a pity. But both are you find in Arjuna. So he is fully confused now. Not able to stand, not able to pick up his bow and arrow. He has sat down, no? He is not able to stand also. His whole body is shaking. To such Arjuna, tam Madhusudanaha uvacha. Madhu was a king and Vishnu killed him. Krishna is an incarnation of Lord Vishnu. So Krishna is referred as the Madhusudana. There is another significance here. O Lord, sorrow has entered into me like a wicked demon. It's a Rakshasa. You have to kill that sorrow. You have to destroy that sorrow. There is no other way, O Lord. Arjuna is surrendering to Krishna. After 2-3 verses you will learn. This is the first sutra. The context is created. Context has been done. Context is there. The poet who wrote Vyasa contextualized the whole situation he describes in the very first sloka. This is very important for us to understand the Gita. So what is the teaching of the Krishna? There are only 2 verses. Again you will find same prattling, same monologue of Arjuna will continue afterwards. 2 slokas. These 2 slokas, according to Swami Vivekananda, contain the essence of Bhagavadgita. Strength and fearlessness. These are the 2 teachings of the Gita, according to him. Because in all his life, Swami Vivekananda's teachings, you will find in his life and teachings, he was courageous, he was fearless, he was full of strength. Strength is life, weakness is death. Swami Vivekananda's teachings are often called the gospel of strength. So he says these two slokas are the gospel of strength. He wants to see Gita, he explains Gita as the gospel of strength, fearlessness, courage. The 2 slokas are enough to understand the whole essence of the Gita, he says in one place. These slokas are very important for us. If Arjuna had woken up to this clarion call of Krishna, then there would be no Bhagavad Gita at all. So they are full of power, full of energy. Let us try to understand these slokas. Bhagavan uvacha. For the first time, Bhagavan has come. It is not just Bhagavan, Shri Bhagavan uvacha. Shri, he is always with the glory. And also he is always with the Lakshmi. You cannot imagine Vishnu without Lakshmi or consult. Lakshmi stands for the greatness, splendor, spiritual wealth, not the physical wealth, spiritual wealth. And Bhaga means there are 6 qualities indicated by this Bhaga. There is a shloka, traditional shloka. Aishwaryasya samagrasya dharmasya yashasaha shriyaha vairagyasya atha mokshasya shannam bhaga iti ingana. Ingana means technical term. It says that bhaga is a technical term. Bhaga means having 6 qualities. If someone has got these 6 qualities, he is called Bhagavan. We have to remember, or we have to know, Bhagavan is often indicated to or referred to even the great acharyas of the Upanishads. Bhagavan, Bhagavantam, these are the words used in the Upanishad. Great spiritual personages are indicated by the term Bhagavan. It's about spiritual wealth, spiritual splendor, spiritual excellence. That is what Bhaga is. Samagrasya Aishwarya. In totality, whatever there in this universe, Aishwarya, the splendor, that is there in the Bhagavan. Because it is Bhagavan which has become the whole world. Whatever splendor, whatever glory, that belongs to God and God alone. Samagra Aishwarya and Samagra Dharma, the virtue, code of conduct, ethics, that is one great Bhaga, or the quality of the Lord. Yashasaha, Shriyaha, Yashas, fame. The God is well known. God is far superior than anyone. God is the most known entity in the world because it is God who has become everything. Isha Midam Sarvam. We talk in God and through God. We breathe in God and through God. Every activity is done through God and in God. There is nothing in this universe which is different from God. That's why He is well known everywhere. Shriyaha, majesty, excellence in people, all belongs to the God and God alone. Vairagyasya, He is completely detached. Vairagya is a great quality. And also mokshasya. Moksha is liberation. Here it is means to the liberation. If you want to liberate, what are the spiritual qualities you should have? All are in the God. That's why He is eternally liberated, it is called. We have to do sadhana and get liberated. The Bhagavan is Sarva Swatantra, is already liberated. So these 6 qualities are in Bhagavan, and Bhagavan is often referred to Vishnu, the great God. Our Lord Krishna is in no way inferior to Lord Vishnu. So Bhagavata clearly says, Krishna is Purnavatara. Krishna has all the characteristics, all the qualifications of the Lord Vishnu, the great God, the supreme God, Paramatma. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, Bhagavata says. There is another shloka which also describes the Bhagavan. It goes like this. Utpattincha vinashamcha bhutanam agatim gatim vetti vidyam avidyam cha vachyaha Bhagavan iti. One who knows everything about the individuals is Bhagavan. We do not know when we are created. We do not know when we are going to die. Or we do not know when this universe is created, when this universe is going to destroy. We do not know, but the Bhagavan knows. Agatim gatim, gain and the loss. When we are going to fail, when we are going to succeed, we do not know. But the Lord knows our destiny. That is why He is called the Bhagavan. Vidyam avidyam cha. He knows about the knowledge, He knows about the ignorance also. Ignorance, knowledge, gain and loss of the individual beings, and utpatti, the creation and the destruction of individuals. The whole universe is in His mind, it is called. That's why He is called Bhagavan. And the commentator says here, Madhusudana Saraswati, all these qualities are in Krishna. Vasudeva. I think I told in the earlier classes, one of the classes, Vasudeva means one who pervades the whole universe. Vasanad Vasudevasya Vasitante Jagatrayam Sarvabhuta Nivasosi Vasudeva Namostute. This is one of the shlokas you will hear, or we read or we chant along with the Vishnu Sahasranama. The whole universe is pervaded by the Lord. A Lord as pure consciousness, Chaitanya, is everywhere. The whole world is nothing but the manifestation of God. That we read in the 10th chapter, in the 11th chapter of the Gita. Vishwa Rupa. This world is nothing but the Virat Rupa. Great, it is the expression of the splendor, the glory of the Lord. He is the Bhagavan. This is the meaning of the Bhagavan in the traditional circles. In the tradition says, it is the significance of the word Bhagavan. Because this is the first time in Bhagavadgita, Krishna is speaking. Krishna has started speaking to Arjuna. And what he says? Kutastva kashmalamidam vishame samupastitam anarya justam asvargyam akirtikaram Arjuna. Kutaha tva kashmalam idam vishame samupastitam anarya justam asvargyam akirtikaram Arjuna. It's a time of crisis for Arjuna. It is the time of crisis for the society of the day in that part of the country, in the northern India, where the Kauravas, Kuru Rajya was there. Not only the warriors from the Kuru kingdom have assembled there, those who are in support of Pandavas have come from many kingdoms, and those who are in support of Kauravas also have come from many countries, many kingdoms. The whole mass of humanity is there. This single war will affect the destiny of the whole nation as it was in that ancient period. That is the historical significance of Mahabharata. Very, very critical time individually for Arjuna and also for the whole nation of Bharata as it was in that period. Vishame, in this critical state, in this perilous state, kutaha samastitam, how it has come? What has come? Tvam, to you. Kashmalam, Kashmalam, Swami Tapasyanandaji Maharaj, one of the translators of the Bhagavadgita, translates Kashmalam as loathsome stupidity. Stupidity. Kashmalam means defect. It's a great defect on your part to have acted in this manner in the time of crisis. You are refraining from your duty, Swadharma. You are supposed to fight as a warrior. You belong to Kshatriya clan. And you are showing compassion to your enemies instead. You are shedding tears. Tears you are shedding. You are not able to stand. Your whole body is shaking. You are not able to see properly also because you are weeping. What is this? This is Kashmala. Stupidity. And loathsome stupidity. Very strong words. Tapasyanji Maharaj uses. And what is the reason for your action, such behavior? What is your intention? What is your goal? What you desire to achieve by this? Do you want moksha by showing compassion to enemies? To Duryodhana and others? No, you can't. You can't get moksha out of it. See the second line. Anarya justam. Such a behavior will never, dignified people will never act like this. Here Arya means dignified people, enlightened people. They will never entertain this kind of action. They will never do it. Arya always stands for nobility in Sanskrit literature. In Sanskrit dramas, you will see wife addressing husband, Arya or Arya Putra, a noble person. Doesn't indicate any race, as the Western scholars saw it and created a illusory theory, an imaginary theory called Aryan invasion. Arya means a noble person. Your conduct, your action doesn't fit for the noble people. You are a noble man. You are a warrior. You belong to Kshatriya clan. You are a king. You are ruling over this country. You have lost your nobility now through this action. That is the meaning. Anarya justam. Then how can you even desire for moksha? And you will never get moksha by this action. Running away from the battle, not doing swadharma, you will never get moksha. That is the meaning of anarya justam. Next, are you aspiring for heaven by refraining from the war, not fighting against your enemies? No, you will not go to heaven also. See the second line once again. Anarya justam asvargyam. Such a conduct, pathetic, foolish, those who actually done by weak people, mentally weak, physically weak, will act like this. The action will take you to Swarga, heaven? Never. So, anarya justam asvargyam. You will become famous by showing compassion to others. Oh, I want fame, I want to become famous. I should be well known in the history of India. A person who has shown compassion to the enemies. You will get that fame, name and fame. Never you will get. Akirtikaram. It is something you will get only disrepute. People will laugh at you. Oh, Arjuna, a warrior, became a coward when he faced his enemies. You will never be able to erase that disrepute, black mark on your character. So, anarya justam kashmalam. This is how we have to understand this verse. Kashmala, a great defect in you. Your conduct itself is a defect, a stupid action. It is not befitting to a noble-minded people, noble society and noble people in the society. Aswargyam, it will never give you swarga. You will never go to swarga by this action. Akirtikaran, you will never get fame, name and fame. Arjuna, he is addressing Arjuna. Oh Arjuna, you will never get. Why? Why I don't get all these things? And Arjuna says, it's imaginary. Commentators always imagine something. Arjuna might have told something to Krishna and Krishna is replying. All these are imaginations. Of course, the logical. Arey, I cannot even hold my bow. I don't have courage to fight because I am seeing my own brothers there, elders there, fathers there. How I can fight? Oh, this state of mind of yours is klaibhya. Krishna says in the next verse. Klaibhyam asmagamaha partha na etatvayupapadyate kshudram hrudaya daurbalyam tektvotishta parantapa. Klaibhyam masmagamaha. na etat tvayi upapadyate kshudram hrudaya daurbalyam tektva uttishta parantapa. This is the clarion call of Krishna. In modern days, Swami Vivekananda gave a similar clarion call to the people of India. Arise, awake, stop not till the goal is reached. This is the clarion call for everyone who are in distress, who are acting like cowards, who are not able to face the challenges of life. This one shloka should make us get up and face the challenges. Strive hard, be brave, be courageous, be fearless, be full of strength. Klaibhyam masmagamaha. What is klaibhya? I have listed several English terms for this. You can choose any one of them. Unmanliness, state of impotence, lack of courage or fortitude, loss of vitality and vigor. All these put together, the klaibhya. This is how Swami Tapasyanji translates. Impotency, unmanliness, not fit for a noble person, not fit for the brave man or the warrior like Arjuna. Masmagamaha. Don't have it. Don't do it. Don't yield to it. Your faint-heartedness, unmanliness, lack of vitality, vigor. Please don't yield to this faint-heartedness, this condition. Don't entertain it. Don't attain to it. This is a single sentence here. The sentence stops there. Klaibhyam asmagamaha partha. This is a single. Oh Partha, don't yield to this unmanliness. The single sentence, if you can understand this properly, can transform our life. It is an electrifying message of Krishna to the whole humanity. We are not sinners. If there is only sin, as Swami Vivekananda says, that is lack of strength, lack of courage. We have to be courageous. We have to be fearless. We have to fill our mind with courage, physically, mentally. We should worship this strength. Strength is life, weakness is death. There is a single message coming from the Upanishad. Swami Vivekananda says, that is the message of fearlessness. Abhihi, 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 he says. When Swamiji spoke of the fearlessness, strength, courage, in fact, Swamiji is just borrowing this, has borrowed this idea, echoing the message of Krishna. We read Bhagavadgita, we are very, very devoted. We chant daily Bhagavadgita, but we miss this point. This message is to live a very, very courageous life, fearless life, life with dignity. We have to be very brave. Krishna is talking to Arjuna, who has to face a single battle. Our battles are many. We are facing battles in family, office, elsewhere, our own personal problem. Mind itself is a battlefield. Every day, every minute, Krishna showing us the way how to fight it, how to continue to be brave and live in the midst of all these calamities, troubles we are facing every day, every minute. Klaibhyam asmagamaha. Partha na etat tvayi upapadyate. Etat, this faint-heartedness, this unmanliness, this loss of vitality and vigor does not befit you. Does not befit you. You are a Kshatriya, you are born in the Kshatriya clan, you have to be more courageous than the ordinary people. You have to be fearless, you have to be full of strength. It doesn't befit you at all. Na etat, it is not fitting at all to your character. Further, not only you are a Kshatriya or born in the Kshatriya clan, you are born by the blessings of Indra to Kunti. Indra stands for the valor. Indra stands for the bravery. And you are the son of Indra. You are acting like this. What a shame. And even as Arjuna, as an individual, you have shown great fortitude, courage and bravery all along in your life. You have fought with Shiva himself, Rudra himself. And Rudra, Shiva gave you Gandiva as his blessings to you. All along you were a great, noble-minded person with full of dignity. Such an action doesn't befit you, is not fitting to you. You should not have yielded to this faint-heartedness, miserable condition. So we have completed the first line now. Klaibhyam masmagamaha, the single sentence, or you can add partha also. Partha, klaibhyam masmagamaha, na ye tattvaye upapadyate. It doesn't befit you at all. Then commentators say, I am not able to even stand, O Krishna. My mind is whirling. No. This is your Hrudaya Daurbalya. Faint-heartedness. This is all in your mind. It has nothing to do with your physical expression. It is all in the mind. When you are anxious, when you are stressful, the body exhibits or bodily expression we will have. We start sweating, body will shake, we are not able to stand. All these are expressions of the body, has got psychic origin. It's all in the mind. Hrudaya Daurbalya, weakness of the heart, weakness of the mind. That is Kshudra, it is very, very petty, very inferior. It is a base, it is very low. If an ordinary man had that condition, we could have we could have comforted him. But you are a great man of the history, one of the greatest archers in the history of India. You cannot have this faint-heartedness, Hrudaya Daurbalya, because it is base, it is inferior, it is very low. Kshudram Hrudaya Daurbalyam Tyaktva, give it up. Remove this faint-heartedness, this weak-mindedness from your heart or the mind. Tyaktva Kshudram Hrudaya Daurbalyam. Then what I should do? Uttishta, he is sitting. That's why first he has to stand. Not only he has to stand, he has to fight the war. Uttishta indicates you have to stand up and fight against your enemies. Tyaktva uttishta parantapa. The commentator gives another meaning for the Kshudra. It is Kshudra, it is very petty. You can easily overcome that. It is just like saying a student who has to face the examination. Oh, that is examination is nothing. You can easily pass. Oh, your faint-heartedness, all these weakness, mental weakness, physical weakness. Oh, Arjuna, it is nothing for you. You have fought great battles before, in the past. You will also fight a wonderful battle, and you will succeed, you will win. Krishna is encouraging Arjuna. It is nothing. Your Hridaya Durbalya is nothing. It is petty. You can easily overcome. So there are two meanings of the word Kshudram. So the strength, this is one of the most important teaching of the Upanishad. Mundaka Upanishad says, Nayamatma balahinena labhyaha. This Atman, God, you cannot realize the Atman being weak in your mind and the body. No, for the weakling, there will be no realization of Atman at all. Your intellect should be very, very strong, penetrating intellect. Mind should be strong. You should be filled with concentration and willpower, ethically sound, mentally sound, body and mind, physically sound. This is what is required for sadhana. A weak-minded person can not even dream of realizing God or Atman. The Mundaka Upanishad says. This thinking about Atman, this sadhana will make us strong. Atmana vindate viryam, Ken Upanishad says. This Atman, thinking about Atman, discovering our innate strength, innate divine nature will make us strong to face any challenges of life. Atmana vindate viryam. That knowledge will take us to the immortality. Vidyaya vindate amrutam. Those two shlokas give us the essence of the whole Gita. Spirituality is not for the weak-minded people. What you need is strength, physical strength, mental strength. Ethically, we have to be sound. That is the message you are here. We have to face the problem. We have to go on with your life in the midst of all troubles, crises. We have to fight. No other way. Life is a schooling. We have to learn from the life. In one place, Swami Vivekananda says, this whole life, this world is a school, and Atman is learning. We are learning every day. We are learning from good things. We are learning from bad things. Both are our great teachers, he says. In fact, the bad things happen to us are the greatest teachers. Arjuna has to face such a critical situation. It was a great lesson for him. With this we will end today. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Rama Krishna Arpanamastu. Ramakrishna Mat, Bangalore, Basavangudi. We are organizing Ramakrishna Sangeeta Saurabha, 3 days musical festival from 19th to 21st July. 19th we have Hindustani classical music by Dattatreya Velankar. And the 20th July, we have Hindustani Carnatic Flute Jugal Bandi by Vidwan Amit Nadig and Vidwan Shadaj Godkindi. And on 21st July, we have Carnatic Classical Vocal by Kumari Spurti Rao and Party. So all are welcome. On 21st July, we have, on Sunday, we have the Guru Purnima also. The invitation has already been sent through the WhatsApp groups. Thank you so much.